There you are! Welcome, welcome, welcome to the best district in the best state in the entire country, and that is a cold, hard fact. I'm Ben Kolb, and it is my sincere privilege to welcome you to the destination district, St. Vrain Valley Schools. Originally founded here in the shadow of Longs Peak, St. Vrain Valley School now serves way more than just Longmont, because we spread out over 411 square miles and 57 different schools and programs. And we couldn't be more excited to have you on our team. We have a great program in store for you today. You're gonna have a chance to hear from some incredible visionary leaders. And along the way, we hope that you are just as excited to join our team as we are to have you as a member of our team. New teacher orientation is something that I have looked forward to every single year that I've been in St. Vrain. Our district just knocks it out of the park. And there's something palpable about the energy when you have hundreds of teachers together in the same auditorium. And so when I heard that new teacher orientation was going to be a YouTube video, initially I was a little bit bummed. But now that I think about it, this is a pretty incredible experience, right? Because right now there's a pretty good chance that you're watching this in your footy pajamas. And would you have worn footy pajamas if you were trying to make a great first impression in an auditorium? Probably not. There's other awesome aspects about having this as a YouTube video. We have this robust chat function that you can use to interact and see who else is here. You can rewind things if things happen too fast. And when the realities of your new school set in a couple months, you can come back and revisit any of these videos. It's also a pretty cool thing that you can share portions of these videos with family and friends who aren't in our district or who aren't even in the same state, because we know that you'll be very proud of the district that you are now a part of. Also, if we were in person right now, could I do this? Let me try that again here. If we were in person right now, could I do this? This isn't where I was supposed to be. That actually worked. It never worked in rehearsal. That is a powerful tool that I plan on using all the time. So from Central Elementary School, one of our district's first schools in the heart of Longmont, up to the mountains of Lyons, to the plains of Meade, Frederick, Erie, to Niwot, to Silver Creek. We span 411 square miles, but one of the coolest parts of this district is that we are not a district of schools. We are a school district. We don't have 60 sites, each doing their own thing, each trying to solve a problem their own way and not learning from each other. We truly run hard together as a system, and that is one of the best parts of St. Vrain, and that's why we're here at the Educational Service Center, where we're going to hear from the man himself who has helped craft and implement that vision for years, Dr. Don Haddad. So let's hop in, and we're going to hear from him about the power of public education and the power of the St. Vrain system.
Hi, I'm Don Haddad, the Superintendent of Schools, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the St. Vrain Valley School District. We're currently the 7th largest school district in Colorado. We have about 33,000 students. We're nearing 60 schools, and we span out over 411 square miles, and we are continuing to grow each year. So I want to welcome you to our team. You know, I have always believed that the teaching profession and public education, this is among the most noble and important professions that there is, because it serves as a prerequisite to every other profession. And second only to parenting, we have the opportunity to influence the future of our communities and our state and our nation and our world. And when you consider that 90%, slightly over 90% of all of the children in grades kindergarten through 12th grade are enrolled in a public school, that further confirms how much opportunity we have to influence. Now, I realize that we are all entering into the 2020-2021 school year in a very unique time. We're facing a lot of challenges, and it's going to require the very best that we all have to give, our institution collectively and then each of us individually. But I want you to know that you're joining a team of elite professionals. This is a group, in my 35 years, you are going to be working with the very best, and you are coming into a culture that will continue to relentlessly pursue excellence in everything that we do. If you want to know the key to success in this school system, first, it's an unwavering commitment to the well-being and the success of each and every one of our students, and to your colleagues, and to this community. But each and every one of our students is important and requires the best that we have to give. It's also going to be important that you embrace a really hard work ethic, that you are one of those individuals that sees work as an opportunity to continue to advance our students and our system, that you're someone who enjoys collaboration and professional growth. We have among the very best educators in the country, and you will have an opportunity to collaborate, and we are the quintessential, our whole is greater than the sum of our individual parts. And so getting connected and working together is going to be important. And I would always encourage you to reflect on your why. Why do we do this? Why did we choose public education? Because when you reflect on your why and you continue to think about how important this work is, it will inspire you to go above and beyond and constantly be pushing the envelope to be the very best that you can be. Because that's who we are. That's what we're about in St. Vrain. I look forward to working with you as you get settled in. Lots of support for you, and I look forward to having a chance to visit your schools, to visit with you, to hear from you. You're always welcome to contact me. And remember, when you come to St. Vrain, what you are bringing is someone who is going to care more about our children than most people ever could imagine. That's what we're here for. We're here to teach them. We're here to nurture them. We're here to love them. We're here to give them second chances and third chances and stand by their side as they grow and learn. And those are the things that make St. Vrain such a special place to be. So welcome to our school district. I wish you the very best, and I am looking forward to working with you. And congratulations, and thanks for choosing St. Vrain as well. Take care.
So you can already tell that you are part of a powerful system that channels the mantra academic excellence by design. And we know that academic excellence happens because of deep relationships that you're going to form with your students. That's why you started teaching in the very first place. And to help us understand more about the importance of relationships, we're going to kick it over to our Director of Student Services, Johnny Terrell.
My name is Johnny Terrell, and I proudly serve as the Executive Director of Student Services. Many of you are just starting out, much like me 26 years ago. And you may be wondering, what is the school year going to look and feel like? Well, 26 years ago, it felt like a roller coaster ride. You know that feeling of anxiousness that you get right before the ride? That's what I had. Then the ride gets started, and as the ride gets started, you hit that first dip, moving into that first loop, and then you're scared to death. Well, that happens typically around October. At least it happened that way for me. And then once you successfully move through that first dip and that first loop, then you get a little confidence and say, I think I can do this. That typically hits the second semester in January. And then you get the monotonous dip and loop, dip and loop, dip and loop. And then right about the time where the monotony sets in, the ride picks up again. Things start moving faster and faster and faster, and you realize I'm running out of time. And then all of a sudden, the ride comes to a screeching halt. And that happens in May. And then, like many of us, you get a break, June hits, and you get that tingling and that feeling and that sensation of, I think I want to do this again. And typically we call that summer break, and you start preparing and looking forward to the beginning of the school year, which brings us to August. And then there are some of you who are out there in the audience who, much like me 3 years ago, are transitioning from one school district to the next. And ultimately you want to know, was it worth it? Was the move worth it? And I can unequivocally say yes. Most definitely. It's been the most positive experience in my professional career over the last 26 years. Now, I'll do my best to illustrate that through our values, our mission statement, and the principles that we hold dear and true in student services. First, let me talk about our values. We value relationships. Relationships are key, not only in our department, but also in our organization. 26 years in this profession and 27 years in marriage has taught me you can either be right or in relationship. Additionally, it's taught me that you can be right all by yourself. Yes, we follow the law, we follow policy. However, our collegial relationships and our relationships with our stakeholders and partners and our families are critical. Relationships matter. Our mission challenges and reminds us to serve our families and serve our students, as well as support our schools and our staff, all to an end of ensuring positive life experiences and academic excellence and success. Remember that roller coaster that I talked about earlier? It's now August. It's time to get back on the ride. It's time to feel every bump, to feel every curve, to truly enjoy the experience. Because come this time next year, you got to be ready to do it all over again. Welcome to St. Vrain Valley School District. This is a wonderful place to work. It's a wonderful place to raise a family. You've most definitely saved the best for last.
All right, let's do a quick check for understanding. Let's summarize what we've learned so far. We know that we run FAR together as a powerful system. We heard that from Dr. Don Haddad. And we know that our system values over anything relationships. Students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We've heard that over and over. And the thing that we're going to learn next is that there is no other profession in the entire world that's more important than what you are about to do. Because through you, we 100% believe that our students are going to change the world. And to help us understand that, we're going to go to our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Jackie Kapushin.
Hi, my name is Jackie Kapushin, and I have the honor of serving as Deputy Superintendent for the St. Vrain Valley School District. I'd like to welcome the over 100 educators who are joining our winning team. And today I'd like to also share some experiences with you that have solidified my commitment to public education and to the teaching profession. I'd like to do so by reading a letter that I've written for all of you. Dear new to St. Vrain educator, when I was young, and yes, I'm going back that far, my family moved across the United States every 3 to 4 years for my father's job. School was both difficult for me, but also provided a sense of stability and predictability. I started formal schooling in the first grade in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and quickly noted my first grade teacher's dissatisfaction with my lack of letter recognition and sound recognition. That summer, my family moved to Buffalo, New York, and I started second grade with very poorly developed early literacy skills. I was immediately moved into reading intervention groups for most of the day and lost a lot of confidence as a young scholar. Enter Mrs. Blackwood in third grade, who quickly recognized my learning gaps and spent endless hours during her lunch period, before and after school, helping me learn to read. She also rebuilt my confidence by complimenting my handwriting as we began learning cursive in third grade, and by finding every opportunity to use my work as an example for the class. I had the great fortune of having her loop up with me for fourth grade, and she was also my fifth grade teacher, even though there were 3 other rounds of each grade level at my elementary school. At the end of my 5th grade year, I was named to the honor roll, and in my heart, I believe she stayed with me for 3 years to make sure that I had a solid foundation before my family moved to Texas to start my 6th grade year. She is the reason I chose the teaching profession, and as I have achieved several goals that I've set for myself in life, I often think of Virginia Blackwood's profound impact on me. Now let me shift to my first year of teaching. My first teaching experience took place in a one-room schoolhouse in 1988 in the northwestern part of the state on the Colorado-Wyoming border. Moffat County School District did not have to maintain a school in this tiny oil and gas camp where a population of about 50 lived, and could have bused students 40 miles each way, but chose to keep the school because there was a strong belief among the residents of the camp and district administration that a community is not whole without a school. This was my first lesson in teaching, and I believe it to still be true today. The second lesson I learned during this experience is that students don't fall into neat categories of what they know based on their grade level. This was both a gift and a challenge for me that first year as I tried to navigate 5 grade levels of curriculum for 10 students in grades K through 4. I spent hours reviewing the grade level objectives and materials and planning lessons that were both designed specifically for individual students and also had cross-level intersections so that teaching and learning could span all grade levels. I suspect many of you have encountered or will encounter this challenge in your classroom as well. And finally, that first year, when no one else was around to give me advice or problem solve the daily challenges that arose at the Powder Wash School, it was the relationships with my students and their parents that sustained me and the work and helped me through the other challenges of living in a very remote location without phones, the internet, paved roads, or even electricity, as we ran on generators. 32 years later, these lessons still hold true for me in our profession. 1, schools are the heartbeat of the community. And if you ever doubt this, just wait until our first day back when we all see the joy that our schools bring to students and our entire community. 2, as educators, each student comes to school with their unique talents and needs and only get one chance at a great K-12 education. And 3, strong relationships will always be the cornerstone of any classroom in which students are experiencing tremendous success. Todd Whitaker, who is an author of many books on education, once said, "You might never remember the most powerful conversation you have with a student, but that student will." Now, the third experience that I'd like to highlight is just in the last 3 to 4 months, and it is the experience that the pandemic has brought to our community. When schools shut down across our state on March 12th, educators across this country and right here in St. Vrain stepped up to redesign the learning experience for children. In that first week, they checked in with families to ensure they were safe and able to access information. They delivered lunches, technology, and words of encouragement to K-12 students, and especially to graduating seniors who began to see their end-of-year expectations rapidly change and the much-anticipated opportunities and activities drift away. Public educators relied on their instinct, their ingenuity, and their empathy to create stability for our nation's children, not because they are paid to take on this role, or because they felt obligated to keep the economy going, although public schools are a strong driver of our economy, or to serve as babysitters so parents could manage their own careers. No, our public educators stepped up without notice because they knew there is an important window in a person's life for academic and personal growth. They also know that in a time of critical need, along with parents, it is our teachers who stand watch over the 53 million children who attend public schools in our communities, state, and nation, and they were not going to leave our students vulnerable. So as I close, I would like to leave you with this. As we transition into the 2021 school year, which will also prove to be very challenging, it is my sincere hope that you never underestimate your impact on this world through your interactions with this generation of students. For being a public educator is both an honor and a responsibility that no other profession can replicate. All my best for an engaging and successful year. Thank you.
One of the things that I love the most about working in this district is that at every level, there's an unwavering belief in the power of a teacher. It starts and ends with great teaching. That's why you're here, that's why you're part of our team. But you're not going to be teaching in a one-room schoolhouse. You are going to have some of the best tools and the best training to help you do your job at an incredibly high level. And nothing better exemplifies that than this, our district's mobile lab. So let's hop aboard and learn what the mobile lab does for our students.
Welcome to the Innovation Lab. Ms. Frizzle has nothing on this. This is a flexible learning space that can do it all. We focus on above and beyond learning experiences for students. We can bring this thing to schools and take kids on a field trip to the moon or on a cage dive with great whites. But the thing that has me excited the most lately is being able to take it to community events to showcase the accomplishments of students because of the best teachers like you. This lab is one of many examples of partnering with local businesses around St. Vrain and how supportive our community is. They know the power of public education and that we're doing it at the highest level. Check us out at mobilelab.svvsd.org. We are here to support you as teachers, the most important profession in the world.
Wow, a mobile innovation lab is definitely something I've never seen from a school district. I guess I've also never seen a school district where every single teacher gets a brand new iPad, super fast MacBook Air, and both of those devices loaded up with thousands of dollars worth of software and applications so that they can do their job at a high level. And basically all their students are equipped with a device as well. And these super fast devices are even faster when you consider that our district has one of the fastest internet connections for a school district in the entire country. We have one of the only help desks for a school district in the country as well. All this headed up by an elite team called the Department of Technology Services. And this team is headed by Michelle Bourgeois. So let's head over to DTS to hear from Michelle about her team.
Hi, I'm Michelle Bourgeois, Chief Technology Officer. I wanted to tell you how much we in DTS appreciate the opportunity we have every day to support our teachers across the district. From the 27,000 iPads to the 50 people that work in DTS every day to make sure you have the tools and resources you need. Our goal is to enrich education. And here in DTS, we live that value every day.
So you're now part of a very powerful system. You heard that from Dr. Haddad. And we're doing the most essential work on the entire planet. You heard that from him as well. And you heard from Dr. Capuchin about the importance of each of our individual roles as teachers and how that can't be understated. But you're not doing this important, life-changing work alone. We have an entire raucous crowd of fanatics supporting us every step along our way. From business partners like we have here, Stapp Toyota, to UC Health and IBM and Sphero. We have so many community partners who are the biggest supporters of our work and want to shout the amazing work you're doing in the classroom from the rooftops. And to tell us more about that, we're going to kick it to our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Diane Lauer.
How amazing is this? Thank you so much for being with us as a new employee, a new teacher here in St. Vrain. Here I am, downtown Longmont. This is a pretty amazing place. You know, there's 10 communities that make part of the St. Vrain Valley Schools, and each one of them has a historic downtown. And that means that there's a lot of history and a lot of heart, not only for the community, but for us here in education and for what we do. I have to tell you, in my 30-year career, I've never worked in such a community that I felt so much investment in me as an educator. So I invite all of you, as you're out and about in your new community, take some time to get to know the local businesses, the families, the organizations, and the city governments and the museums and everything that they have to offer. Because you'll probably not be surprised that they are part of our district partnerships. You know, we have close to 100 different partnerships that we actively are involved with to help ensure that our schools are the very best we can be. These communities have provided incredible support, providing 2 bonds, 2 mill levies that have created such a strong investment that have made 21st century learning a possibility for all of our families and students. Thank you so much and enjoy your time here in St. Vrain.
Welcome to the coolest building I've ever been to in my entire life. We are here at our district's Innovation Center, and people who visited Apple headquarters or Google headquarters out in California say that our building, our Innovation Center, is even cooler than those buildings. But to me, this building really represents what community support does for our district. Our community supports us so much that they build us incredible buildings like this to do our work in. And the reason that our community supports us is because we are very great at sharing what we do with the community using things like Twitter and Facebook. And so we're going to kick it upstairs to Eunice from the communications team, who's going to talk to us about the importance of sharing our story on Twitter using the hashtag St. Vrainstorm. So let's go.
Hey teachers, so you've made it this far in the video, and by now you can probably tell that this is an amazing system. School is so much more different than it was when a lot of us were growing up. I mean, Ferris Bueller's teacher, I'm sure, could not go through a whole class period teaching in our district.
Bueller.
Powerful learning happens every day here in St. Vrain. The way we talk about teaching is so important to how the world sees our profession. It's like the famous quote that says, "Tell your story or someone else will." Well, here in St. Vrain, we like to tell our story. And one of the ways that you can help us by telling our story is through Twitter. When powerful learning happens in your classroom, I encourage you to reach out to your principal. Let them know what's happening in your class. Invite them into your class so that they can take pictures and we can share them out for you. Teachers are the most powerful allies and advocates in advancing public education. You are doing the most important work and we are counting on you. So now that you watched this video, we have a challenge for you. We want you to tweet out your answer to this question. Why are you excited to be part of our team? When you tweet out your answer, make sure you use hashtag #StVrainStorm. Our communications team will be choosing our favorite answer and we will be sending you a 2020 St. Vrain Storm t-shirt. The communications team is always here for you. Please reach out to us and share any amazing stories, amazing learning going on in your classroom, and we will share it out for you. Have a great start of the school year.
Here we are at Silver Creek High School. And way back in February when we were planning for our first chance to meet you, it was here. It was in this school that we were so excited to meet you, to see your smiling face walk in the door, to hand you a cup of coffee and tell you that we know your school year is going to be fantastic. We're excited to be on the stage and tell you about our powerful system, to tell you about the importance of teaching. But we know that across every area of life, normal looks a little different now. And as you're preparing for the school year, things that maybe you would have planned on 6 months ago might look a little different. But we know one thing is for sure, and that is how important you are to our system. And we know that we hire the very best, that for a lot of your positions, there were hundreds of applicants, and we chose you. In 2015-2016, the best basketball team to ever lace up a pair of shoes and jump on a basketball floor was the Golden State Warriors. They won an astonishing 73 games. And they didn't settle and say, hey, we're the best regular season team ever. They didn't rest on their laurels. That very summer, they went out and signed one of the best players, Kevin Durant. The best example of the best getting better. But we feel like that's what we did by hiring you. We're the best team that just got a lot better. We know you'll push us and make us better every step along the way, and we cannot wait to see what you do for our students and for our district. So welcome, and we cannot wait to work with you this year.